So, by the time this comes out, I think we're going to be getting closer to February, right? And during that time, February, Valentine's Day, red, you know what I'm saying? It's the month of love. It's the month of appreciating Black people for 28 days and love,
One of the two biggest schemes for the month, yeah.
Yeah.
Themes.
Let's get that bag.
Excuse me, before we get canceled.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's out for that bag, which is really what Valentine's Day is.
That's
but
really what it is.
Regardless, in the in the spirit of talking about relationships and stuff like that, I think that this is a pretty relatable topic that you wanted to address that I haven't even thought about me personally, but it's a really good one. So you had wanted to bring up basically, and I feel like a lot of people know exactly what this feels like, right? You met, things are going amazing, maybe a little bit of toxicity, bumpy road, you hit a peak, and somewhere along the lines, maybe it was 5 months, maybe it was 5 years, but on the back end, right?
Right.
You knew it was over before it actually was over, right? So boom, end times, right? The prophecy fulfilled.
The ending of a relationship.
Why do you think it is? I'll ask this first. Why do you think it is that even though somebody has mentally or emotionally checked out, why do you think it is that they still stick around?
I think relationship becomes habit at one point. I think that you feel like you've invested so much time, whatever that amount of time is, with this person that even though you look at them and they no longer light your eyes up, or you just look at them and they no longer bring you that joy, is that I've been here long enough. Maybe this is just a lull, something that we could work through. When it's just you've grown apart, it could be as simple as that.
Okay. I agree. Like you start to rationalize, right? Especially because time, you don't get time back, right? So
No.
It's really hard for somebody to sit there and think about their relationship and be like, damn, son, was I just a fucking clown for the past 5 years? Right? It's almost like, yeah, I wasted 2, but you know what? The dick's all right, so let's waste a couple more.
Right.
It's one of those. But where do you think is the line? Because you said before, right? You said maybe you're rationalizing it or thinking about it like one of the dips, like, yeah, maybe this is just a low in the relationship, right? Where do you think is the line from distinguishing between this is a low in the relationship or like I have emotionally for real checked out? Where do you think that line is?
I think that line comes after your second big argument, right? There's no perfect relationship where people don't argue or have disagreements. I think the first major blowout is a test to how serious you are in continuing a relationship.
Like how well you guys rebounded,
right?
Because I don't really feel like the lack of arguments in a relationship is a good gauge of how like good or bad a relationship is. It can be, but I feel like what is a better gauge of a healthy relationship is how did you respond after the blowout?
Right.
Like how did you guys respond? Did you guys grow from it? Did you guys get closer? Was there a compromise? Or did you guys just kind of like brush it under the rug, say dinner's ready, that's my apology, bitch, and move forward? Like I feel like a lot of people sometimes they will just let things like fester, I guess.
Right. And that's a great point. Lack of arguing or confrontation in a relationship does not necessarily mean it's a good sign. You could just have two people who are non-confrontational.
Yeah.
You could have people who are just, like I said, they sweep it under the rug and let it build up. And that's when you have that blowout, that major, I'm tired of this shit. And which is why the first one is a gimme. The first one, how you respond to that one is cool. I think the true test comes after that second one. Because after that first argument, it's like, how do you come back? Do you set aside your own pettiness and willing to compromise? Are you truly understanding, or is it my way or the highway? You know, depending on how both parties respond, then you can continue on to that relationship. That second argument, though, that's when it tests. Okay, I let him go on that first one, or you know, I was understanding on the first one. Now you're testing me. I'm not about that.
Yeah. And was it like, and also like, was the argument based off of, or was it a continuation of the first one? Because if it's a brand new argument, now there's grounds to be like, all right, this is just like some other bullshit we got to deal with, right? But if the second argument, the second big blowout, is just a continuation of the first one, then I do kind of feel like that is a tipping point.
That's a tipping point.
That is a tipping point.
And then after the second one, that's when people begin to mentally say, you know what? I don't think this person gets me, or I don't think this person might be the one. And then when those doubts start coming in, that's when you start to check out. It's like, you know what? If he's going to continue on this bullshit, I'm just going to, you know, do me. I'm a whatever. And then, or if she's going to continue to do, you know, this dirt or whatever, I'm going to do me until I find something better.
Yeah.
And you don't, but then again, you're still in that relationship.
Right.
You know, so it's like, I'm not even going to tell her, whatever. We just going to continue doing this, and then whatever happens, happens.
I feel like in a weird way, a lot of people will stick around much longer than they're supposed to because they're like worried about the other person and what might happen to them if they leave. So I noticed this, like sometimes somebody is the strong one in the relationship. And then, for instance, right, she'll be like, oh, I can't leave. Like he might kill himself, or, you know, how is he gonna wipe his ass if I leave? Or, you know, he already had a problem with drinking, or then starting to use like past trauma, you know, like, oh, his mom left him. If I leave, like that's gonna spiral, you know? Right. And so like sometimes I feel like people stay not for like an overt guilt trip, but maybe they're guilting themselves because they're like, damn son, what happens when I leave? Even though that might be the best move for you, sometimes people get stuck because of that.
I think like when you establish yourself as the crutch in a relationship, as it's bad. You want to be support, but you don't want to be the crutch.
Right.
So it's a big difference. Like let's say your significant other has alcohol indulgence issues, or they might be spiraling into in and off depression or whatever.
Right.
And you are the person who brings them out, or you are the person who keeps them on the right path.
You're the light.
Right? You're the light at the end of the tunnel. It's good to be the support. But when they heavily rely on you to where you cannot be absent for a certain period of time, whether it's physically or even emotionally, because you yourself have stuff to deal with.
Right.
You know?
But you have no room.
Right. You don't have any room because you're
too busy with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's when it's like you become stuck.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not healthy for you either.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also it's like, that's what leads to a lot of people checking out, you know, like, you know, if you're constantly okay. So like, it's okay for men to be vulnerable, for instance. I'm just using this example, right? I believe it's okay for men to be vulnerable. And I don't think it's okay for women to use a man's past trauma against him. Okay.
No.
But what I'm trying to say is that I think that some women mentally check out of their man when it becomes too much, because now she's almost your nurse, and like she's constantly having to pick you up. And I think that affects like the emotional chemistry. Like that affects like, you know, dude, like I have to freaking basically be your babysitter, your nurse, your therapist, and then I somehow have to like get wet for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's not, it doesn't, it's
like your eyes are wetter than my pussy.
Look, I've been in this situation and I've seen people in this situation. A guy would be so down, he overloads his girl.
Yeah.
Right. And then the girl, wherever she goes, whether it's the gym or she goes to work, whatever, she has somebody else that now she's unloading all that onto. Right. So it feels good for her to like unload baggage because she has to unload it somewhere.
It's got to go somewhere.
Or she can't unload it on you because you already got your own baggage going on.
Yeah.
Right. So now that guy becomes like the work husband or the work buddy that just listens, whatever. And because it's such a breath of fresh air that she can let her troubles go, you know, where do you think she's starting to lean now? Right? She has that release, that happiness that she can let out now.
And Cornell, who's on the other side listening.
And opportunity, like I said, and then that's what happens.
Now she's like, oh, this man's strong. This man's listening. This man ain't no bitch.
Right.
He ain't crying. He ain't drinking. He ain't using my credit card. He ain't scheming.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't really know that, but in your mind, because I feel like when women check out, because I feel like when women check out, it's different than guys, right? So like when women check out, all of a sudden that dude that used to be invisible to her is now on the radar, and everything that was unsatisfactory over here, all of a sudden it's being highlighted because of this person's presence. You feel me? And I don't like to sound like a victim shamer, okay? Because cheating is cheating and it's always bad, even though we all do it. It's always bad. But fuck it, I'm going to sound like a victim shamer. Sometimes if you get cheated on, it is your fault.
Yeah.
And if you've never heard that, I'm going to tell you that right now. You can say, oh, this person, this and this. Yes, they should have done all of that. They should have left your ass. They should have, the very next day, they should have moved in, fucked around, deleted all your pictures and uploaded his. Sure. Okay. That's what probably should have happened. But instead, let's take accountability, my friend. Let's take accountability. Maybe you did a lot of things that led to situations where the cheating or the plotting or the thoughts, right? Like would she or he have done it if it wasn't for some of the bullshit that you were doing? Yeah, I mean,
some of the stuff that you wouldn't let slide, some of the stuff that you wouldn't compromise on, some of the things that are just, like I said, my way or the highway. And when a person thinks they can sit back and like, you know what, I'm cool. I'm good. Whatever it is, whatever the rules
she ain't gonna leave.
It's good, And then it's like, no, you know what? I don't want to be part of this. I don't want to adhere by these rules. I want to go have fun. I want to do what I do.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can have fun, and maybe it'll be outside. Yeah.
I think because there's been times where it's like I'm trying to hear this person out. I really am, but like. Like they've told me things that they've done in the background. I see how they treat her and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, she's leaving or, he's leaving or, whatever the case may be. It's like, were you really surprised though? Like, how could you possibly, my whole thing is this, right? If somebody gets blindsided, like genuinely blindsided and they did, their best or whatever, it's a little bit different. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when somebody's like a complete scumbag, right? And then they get upset. And it's like, bro or girl, you literally can't get upset.
Some people live in their own world though. Some people are so I am in tune with themselves, but so self-involved that they don't realize that outside of their own bubble, people have different, worlds, the different rules they play by.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like narcissists.
It does. Yeah. It does. And that's one of the main people who are quote unquote blindsided when relationships fail or whatever are narcissists. They think whatever, they're the main star of their own world, and to an extent they are. Everybody is the star of their own movie. But if you want to have a co-star, you got to offer up some screen time. You can't just be me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's got to be them too.
Exactly. I mean, Robin has his own comic books. But he came up off of Batman. Hey. You got to get some screen time out there.
Stay humble. Remember. I think remembering too. remembering where either you came from, remembering certain things that got you there in the first place. Because I feel like all human beings will naturally take things for granted. So, you know, when you first got your bed, or you first got your job, or you first got your girl, you remember how much you saved for that? You remember how on point for that interview you were? Remember how much courting you did to get in that puss? And now here you are forfeiting it. So it's like, I think that it's in human nature to take for granted the things that you have in life. But I think part of the work of the relationship that a lot of people don't like to talk about is the work that it takes for you to be grateful for things. Because when you stop being grateful, that's when other stuff starts to creep in. That's when you start complaining. Like, when the fuck did she start brushing her teeth like that? God damn. Fucking loud ass.
I think that there's a difference in that, and that's when how you approach a relationship. How do you take it past the lust point, right? And as a guy, you know, when we see a chick and the way we are involved in
lust gets us to the game. Lust gets us to the playoffs.
Yeah, lust gets us there. And then it's okay, after, let's say after you smashed or whatever, or you got to the point where you want to, it's like, do I want to keep her around now? You know, is she cool? Do you like her? And I think liking a girl is much more important than like loving. Yeah. You know, you can love people, but I don't want people around me that I don't like. Yeah. You know?
Because like will sustain your ass.
Like will sustain. You know, if I don't like you, you're not going to be around. I could love you, but not like you, you know?
Yeah, facts.
So it's like, do I like her or whatever? And then you stick around and now the lust is wearing off. Yeah. You know, the sexual deviancy is all gone now. And it's like, okay, well, and then that's where stuff like, damn, did she always brush her teeth? Did she always chew with her mouth open? Yeah. You know, did she always snore?
Fucking like, snoring, bro?
Yeah. You know, it's like,
snoring, bro? How dare you?
It's like, then that's when you start to notice things like that.
Yeah.
Afterwards. And then are you willing to put up with it? Yeah. And then there goes another test of loyalty. Are you willing to stick around with all that bullshit? Because I'm pretty sure she's seeing the same thing for you.
Yeah. I think women generally, they're less confrontational than men.
Right.
So like I kind of feel like women will hide or mask or try to cover up a lot of the things that bother them about us sometimes. Especially because like sometimes it's like real shit. Like sometimes it's like stuff you need to hear, right? Like we all got that dirty friend. You know what I mean? The checker Hanes boxer wearing ass.
Yeah.
With the doo-doo stains. You know what I mean? Like hold on, because I just had a thought, bro. Okay, this is gonna turn completely in another direction right now.
I'm with it.
Okay, boom. We all agree that like cleaning your ass, soap, water is necessary.
Yeah, mandatory.
Right. Mandatory.
Wash your ass.
Right, but here, I want to take it a step further. How in depth are we going with the ass washing process? So my question is, are we using fingers? Is my ass technically not clean unless I finger my bottom? I need to know. I need to know. Because me personally, I feel like soap, water, aggressive with the cloth there. For me, I think that's plenty good. Right? Okay. But maybe some people would argue, nah, that's not job well done until you get knuckle in.
I think and this is no matter how you say this, it's gonna sound off.
Right.
You wash for the occasion.
Okay.
And there's daily occasions. You want to keep a daily cleanse level. Mm-hmm. You know, you wash for that. Mm-hmm. If you are expecting to get your salad tossed, right, then you wash for that occasion.
So
you
like,
go as far as
here is the the first knuckle is the salad wash level.
for beginners, like
For beginners?
for beginning salad tossing, you want to go at least first knuckle.
Okay.
Right? If you're gonna go and you're gonna get like, you know, Michelin star salad tossed, you know, then you go for the enema. Wash your intestines.
Oh, so
You know
you're
what I'm
talking like second knuckle
I'm talking down third level.
Damn.
You know, because
You got a big finger too, bro.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna get in there.
Oh.
So please wash for the occasion.
Yeah. Wash for the occasion.
Wash for the occasion.
Wash for the occasion. Yeah, I asked myself that. I'm like, what is a job well done? Maybe my job well done isn't your job well done.
Everybody's job well done. For everybody's just like basic level is all over the place, because you would ask some people like, hey, do they barehand it? Right? Like you mentioned, is there a cloth involved? Is there a wash rag? Is there a scrubber? You know, how does the water get there? Do you use a shower head?
Right.
Do you take the shower head off and do you let the water come from underneath? You know, or does it just drain down, or whatever drains down and gets there? Like, how is your How is your process?
And allowing actual soap in there.
Exactly. You know, or do you use soap? Is it just water? Are you non-paraben, parfum, non-GMO? How is it? Are you charcoal based?
What's your diet like?
There you go.
What's your
do
diet
you have
like?
a lot of roughage in there? Like, what is?
Dude, you know what, dude? Maybe we should come up with a company that's like specifically for butt cleansingness. Like a kit made easy. Not like a intimidating big doucher, but like maybe like a masculine turkey baser.
You see, men are so uncomfortable with their sexuality, at least when it comes to the anal region.
Yeah, but look at how far we came. Before, I remember in middle school, dudes thought it was gay to pluck eyebrows, and now look at us. We're looking fantastic.
Oh no, I got my eyebrows threaded, so
I do my own eyebrows. But so this might work. This might be the new thing. And especially because there's more guys than ever who are into butt play too.
We might be the pioneers on this new frontier.
We might be butt pioneers.
I support it. Butt pioneers. Okay.
We're doing a survey around the country on the way population handles themselves and speaks and deals with their friends and interact with their peers.